What's happening, everybody? Zelda Religionist here for another episode, and today I'm just gonna basically do an evolution of a certain location in the Zelda series. We all know the Lost Woods, one of the most recognizable locations in any Zelda game. So, how did it start exactly? Or where did it first appear? Well, where most of the other Zelda stuff appeared, in the very first Zelda game. Very simple. It was like, well, depending on how lost you got, it was only mainly like 4 screens wide. Technically, it was 1 screen, but it loops around. You know the Lost Woods, it loops most of the time. But to get out of it, all you had to do was just go up, right, down, right. Very simple. And that was it. We didn't see the Lost Woods in Zelda 2. And which is probably a good thing, because it probably would have been hard as hell, like most of that game is. We didn't see it again until Link to the Past, which was really good. It was a really good overhaul. It was a lot bigger, it was a lot more woods-like, and it was all foggy, and had some really good music playing, and very, very mysterious. And you get the Master Sword, fog clears, and you just get your regular overall music. I've kind of always didn't like that about the Lost Woods the Link to the Past Lost Woods, because it was a lot better when it was all fogged over and had the actual Lost Woods music playing. And when you pull the Master Sword and the fog lifts and you just get your regular music, it's just like another random overworld location in a way. I mean, yeah, you have the shadow of the trees from the top of the woods and everything, and it looks really cool, but it still kind of not became the Lost Woods in a way. Ocarina of Time's Lost Woods was pretty big in size, and they built it up in the story of the game like a really dangerous place. You go there, you get lost, you become a Stalfos or a Skull Kid. But you get there, you have happy music playing, it's sunny, and it's just mainly square sections with 4 tunnels going around it. And there was a few sections in there that was like small little areas and such, but and you could get lost pretty easy, but once you know the trick to get through it, then it's not that much of a problem. But it never seemed like a really dark or scary place where I felt that I could get lost in. I mean, you take a wrong tunnel, you just walk out of the woods at the main entrance. And you look down the tunnels that you're going down, if you see the white at the end of the tunnel, then you know you're going to go the wrong way. But, I mean, with the happy music playing, I didn't feel like I was in a bad place. I felt like I was in just a regular forest with some wrong turns here and there. Majora's Mask kind of had a Lost Woods. It was an alternate world, so it wasn't really the Lost Woods. It was the name escapes me at the moment, but it was the woods in the swamp, and it was basically the Lost Woods. You had your wrong turns and such. Wind Waker didn't have a Lost Woods. Twilight Princess had a Lost Woods, and it was an upscale from the 64 Ocarina of Time Lost Woods. It went back more to the Link to the Past style Lost Woods. It was dark, it was foggy in most areas, and it still had the Lost Woods theme playing though, from Ocarina of Time Saria's song. And although it wasn't as happy sounding, it was still kind of like, it was still the same music that you know as a happy theme, so it didn't give me any fear. Now, it changed a little bit when those fucking wood puppets came around and tried to ruin your shit, but aside from that, it also changed when you got close to the Skull Kid and you heard the trumpet playing with the theme, but still, it wasn't very scary-ish. It wasn't supposed to sound scary-ish, but mysterious. Well, I'll say that. A Link Between Worlds had the Lost Woods, but it was pretty much the exact same as Link to the Past Lost Woods. Foggy until you get the Master Sword, then it becomes basically another same overworld area. But with Breath of the Wild, we got a really damn good Lost Woods. As soon as you walk in, or fly in if you're like me, you automatically get entered into this foggy area. And the music changes. It's not the relaxing overall music that we have playing, or the horse riding music that we have playing. This is suspenseful music playing. And very mysterious music. And it stays foggy throughout the whole thing. And there's a path lit with torches. But once you get to the end of the torches, there is this big solid tree, not the Deku tree, but it's just one lone tree on this small hill that has two torches beside it. Once you get from there, you're on your own. You walk around in just the forest of trees, and you have no idea which way to fucking go. And when you start going off too far in the wrong direction, the fog starts creeping in. You hear this really creepy laugh, like a Skull Kid's laugh in a way, but you never see Skull Kid anywhere. But it sounds very much like it's the laugh of a Skull Kid. And you go back to the lone tree with the two torches, if you're in the second half of the Lost Woods. And I really felt like I could get lost at any moment while I was playing the game. It was really good. It's the Lost Woods that I've been waiting for a long time. And my personal experience finding the Lost Woods, we was in that section by Death Mountain where the Lost Woods is, where I was trying to reclaim the tower that was in that section. And when I'm climbing it, Joey looks over and sees the Lost Woods, and to us, we just seen a bunch of dead trees with fog around it. We wasn't thinking anything of it at the time, but Joey was thinking, when me and him was like, what the hell is that section over there? Why is it all dead? Did it catch fire? What is it? And he's like, maybe it's a place where all poison is, and you gotta try to find your way through it or something. And so I'm at the top of the tower. I fly around into it. And he's like, yeah, just fly to where all the poison is. That's a good idea. And I'm like, I gotta explore. So I fly into the trees, and then the fog takes me. I let down the controller. I'm just like, something's happening. I didn't do it. What's going on? And it teleports me to the entrance, and it says Lost Woods on it, and on the screen. And I'm just like, I found the fucking Lost Woods. What the hell? So I grabbed the torch. I light all the torches during the pathway, and I find the last torch, and it's like a small little circle around it, but all trees around it. You can't see the other torch anywhere. And I look down quite a ways, and I see a torch way off in the distance. And I'm like, there it is! Let's go! But then there was that lone tree with the two torches, and I'm just like, well, now where the fuck do I go? And apparently, I didn't find this out on my own, but one of my buddies told me that if you're holding the torch as you're walking through the second section, the wind will blow the torch the way you need to go. I don't know it for a fact, but that's what he told me. And I just got lucky and found my way through it. And then whenever you get to this small little trench, then the fog starts clearing up slowly, and then you see a bunch of Koroks just hanging around, and then you're in the Korok village, where it's all nice, pretty, foresty, clear, sunshine, shade, but as soon as you get away from it, then the fog starts coming back, and you're in the Lost Woods again. And it was just so fucking cool. And it was actually one of my favorite locations throughout the whole Breath of the Wild game, because just for the fact of how much of an overhaul that it was to the Lost Woods, because it's had quite a few different interpretations throughout the different games, but we haven't had a true Lost Woods, is the way I describe it. And Breath of the Wild brought us the true Lost Woods. They went back to Link to the Past's Lost Woods before you pull the Master Sword out, with the mysterious music and the fog, and fed it steroids, and extended it like 20 times. It was huge, and it was fucking cool. And then, whenever you're in the Korok village, you find the Master Sword, which can kill you if you don't have enough hearts, which made me terrified to pull the Master Sword out for the first time in my Zelda career. And I'm pretty sure you have to have maybe, I think it was 15 hearts before you can pull the Master Sword out without it killing you. And I still don't know why it does, but it's a thing that happens, and it's scary. There's nothing like pulling the Master Sword, the sword of all evil's bane that you use to seal Ganon and defeat him, wielded by the hero of time, or any hero of Hylia for that matter. You grab it to pull it out, and it just starts killing you for unknown reasons. But hey, it was something we've never had, and I welcomed it, and it was just really cool. And I will say what I would have done and kind of hoped for is that you had to have all the flashbacks before you pulled the Master Sword, because that was one of my theories, that maybe Link didn't think he could pull the Master Sword because he didn't think he was the worthy hero that wielded it, and that's why the Master Sword started draining his health, because it didn't recognize him as the hero. But then once you had all the flashbacks, then it would have, he would have remembered it, and then the sword would have remembered him, and then he could have pulled it out no problem. But you just got to have like 15 hearts. But that has been the evolution of the Lost Woods. I'm pretty sure I covered them all. I could have missed a couple. I don't remember right off. But if I did, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments, either politely or very negatively. And please don't do it very negatively, because I'm sensitive and it'll make me cry and make me kill myself. Just a joke. I'm sorry. Don't read too much into it. This is Zelda Religionist, and we'll see you next time.